If your home keeps getting messy again just hours after you clean, what if the problem isn't how often you clean, but how you're cleaning? Have you ever felt like you've been cleaning all day, but the house still looks messy? You wipe one spot and the dust comes back somewhere else. You wash the dishes and somehow the kitchen's dirty again. It feels like you can never quite catch up with the mess. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Today, I'm sharing 7 simple but powerful rules that can make cleaning feel lighter, less exhausting, and most of all, not so pointless. These aren't trendy tips or hacks. They're habits I've used for years as a mom, as someone who works from home, and they're the same habits I've seen help so many busy women keep a calm, livable space without having to fight their home every single day. Before we jump in, leave a quick comment below what part of your house makes you feel the most tired when you're cleaning, because sometimes just one small shift in how you approach things can make the whole routine feel a lot easier. So the first rule I want to share with you is this: clean up messes immediately. And I know it sounds really basic, but this one changed so much for me. Because I used to do what most people do. I'd walk past a mess, think I'll get to that later, and just keep going. One little spill on the counter, a couple of crumbs on the floor, a shirt tossed on a chair. Didn't seem like a big deal in the moment. But here's what I noticed. Those little messes multiply. Fast. I'd come back a few hours later and suddenly the kitchen felt like a disaster. And at that point, I'd feel overwhelmed, like now I had to clean the whole house, even though it started from just a few tiny things I ignored earlier. So I started trying something different. Whenever I saw a small mess, I just took the 10 seconds to deal with it. Wipe the counter, pick up the toy, rinse the cup, and put it in the dishwasher instead of letting it sit. It felt small and kind of annoying at first, to be honest. But then something really shifted. The house started staying cleaner, longer. I wasn't constantly having to reset the space from zero, and I didn't feel like I was always playing catch up anymore. I still do bigger cleans, of course, but this one habit, just dealing with the little stuff, right when I see it, saves me so much energy later. So if you feel like you're constantly re-cleaning the same areas, this is a great rule to try. You don't need a schedule, you don't need a list. Just catch the mess when it happens before it turns into a job. And actually, this ties into something I'll be talking about in tomorrow's video. We're going to look at a few super simple ways to reduce all that visual clutter that makes your home feel messy, even when it's technically clean. It's a game changer, especially if you've ever looked around and thought, why does this space still feel chaotic? But for now, let's keep going with today's list. So here's the second rule. I try to stick to clean the kitchen after every meal. And I'll be honest, this one didn't come naturally to me. I used to finish a meal and think I'll clean it up later. Sometimes I'd be rushing off to get other things done, or just too tired to deal with it right after eating. So I'd leave the dishes in the sink, a few crumbs on the counter pans, still sitting on the stove. And you probably know what happens next. I'd come back a few hours later, or worse, the next morning, and now the mess had settled in. The food stuck to the plates, grease on the stove turned crusty. Suddenly I needed twice as much effort just to clean what could have been wiped in 2 minutes earlier. So I started making a rule for myself. Don't leave the kitchen messy after a meal. Even if it's just a quick reset. I'm not talking about a deep clean. Just rinse and load the dishes, wipe the counters, check the stove, maybe sweep if something obvious fell on the floor. It usually takes me 5 minutes or less, but the impact is huge. Because now when I walk into the kitchen later in the day, I'm not already behind. I can cook without feeling like I'm adding mess to a mess. And maybe most importantly, I don't end my day staring at a pile of dirty dishes I've been putting off since breakfast. It's one of those habits that felt like extra effort at first, but now it actually saves me effort, time, and stress. Try it tonight, even just after dinner. Do a quick 5-minute reset and see how it feels to wake up to a clean kitchen. Rule number 3 is something I learned the hard way over and over again until I finally started doing it right. And that is always dry clean first, then wet clean. Let me explain what I mean, because I didn't even realize I was doing this backwards for years. I'd walk into the bathroom or the kitchen, grab my spray cleaner, and start spraying straight onto everything, the counters, the floors, sometimes even the baseboards. Then I'd go in with a cloth or mop and try to wipe it all up. But here's what would happen. Everything just turned into a smeary, streaky mess. Dust would clump up, hair would stick to the cloth. Instead of cleaning, I was basically pushing dirt around and making it harder to wipe off. It used to frustrate me. I thought maybe I was using the wrong cleaner or that I needed a better mop. But no, the problem was that I was trying to clean wet before I cleared the dry stuff. Now I do things differently. Before I touch any sprays or wet cloths, I do a dry pass. I grab a dry microfiber cloth, a hand broom, or even just a paper towel and go over the area to pick up dust crumbs, hair, little dry bits that collect in corners or edges. In the kitchen, that means brushing off the crumbs from the counter before I spray the surface. In the bathroom, I'll dry wipe the vanity because somehow there's always powder dust and tiny bits of who knows what. Even with the floor, I sweep or vacuum first before I ever think about mopping. And let me tell you, this one step makes wet cleaning so much easier and faster. I'm not scrubbing over crumbs anymore. I'm not fighting with clumps of hair or dirt streaks. Everything wipes clean in 1 or 2 passes. And I use way less cleaner too, because I'm not trying to dissolve grime that should have just been swept up. It's such a small change in how I clean, but it saved me so much time and frustration. So if you ever find yourself wiping and the surface still doesn't feel clean, try doing a dry clean first, just once. You'll see the difference immediately. Rule number 4 is one of those little things that makes cleaning so much smoother once you start doing it. Clean top to bottom, left to right, always. Now I'll admit for a long time I didn't think about the order I cleaned in. I'd just start with whatever caught my eye first. One day, I'd clean the coffee table, then notice dust on the ceiling fan. Or I'd wipe one corner of the counter, then jump to the stove, then come back to the sink. It felt like I was being productive, but honestly, I was doubling my work without even realizing it. Here's why. When you clean top to bottom, you let gravity help you. Dust crumbs and little bits always fall. So if you wipe a shelf after you've already vacuumed, guess what? You've just made the floor dirty again. If you dust the light fixture last, all that mess is landing on your freshly wiped counters. And left to right, or just sticking to one direction, is what stops you from going in circles. I used to find myself bouncing all over the room, wipe the surface, then move to that corner, then realize I missed a spot behind me. The result, I'd end up touching the same areas twice, wasting more time than I thought. So now here's what I do when I enter a room. I literally pause for a second, look up, and pick a corner. Usually I start in the top left, and then work my way around the room clockwise. Start with anything highlight fixtures, shelf tops, door frames, then move down counters, tables, seats, and finally, the floor. That simple order, top to bottom, left to right, helps me clean more efficiently and more importantly, finish. Because before I'd constantly feel like a room wasn't really done. I'd find little things I missed, or worse, I'd make something dirty again after already cleaning it. Now everything flows. I can mentally track where I've been, I know what's left. And when I do that last sweep or vacuum at the end, it actually feels like the final step, not just another loop. So if you ever feel like you're cleaning and re-cleaning the same space or walking in circles trying to catch up with the mess, try this. Pick one corner, look up, and clean your way down one direction, no backtracking. It sounds simple, but I promise this tiny shift can save you so much time and energy. Rule number 5 is something that honestly took me a while to appreciate. Let the cleaner do the work. I used to be the kind of person who would spray and scrub at the same time. Spray the counter, wipe it immediately. Spray the stovetop, start scrubbing with all my strength. I thought that's just how cleaning was supposed to be, fast hands-on, keep it moving. But what I didn't realize was, I was doing all the work that the cleaner could have done for me. Once I started giving the product time to sit, even just 2 or 3 minutes, everything changed. That sticky spot on the counter wiped off without scrubbing. The dried sauce on the stove softened up like nothing. Soap scum in the bathroom gone with way less effort. Now when I clean, I almost always use this trick. I spray first, then walk away. Spray the sink, let it sit while I do the mirror. Spray the stovetop, let it sit while I load the dishwasher. Spray the shower walls, let it sit while I wipe the vanity. By the time I come back, the cleaner's had a chance to break things down, and I'm not scrubbing like I'm trying to win a workout challenge. I just wipe and it's done. This rule has made cleaning less physical, which really matters if you're already tired or short on time. One thing I will say, not every product needs a long wait time. But most of them, especially degreasers and bathroom sprays, work better if you give them a moment. You can even check the label. Many of them will say, let sit for 2 to 5 minutes. They're literally telling you, I've got this, just wait. So if you ever feel like you're scrubbing way harder than you should be, try this spray and step away. Let the cleaner do its job and come back to a surface that's already halfway done. Rule number 6 is one I learned the hard way, and I mean really hard. Always test before you clean, especially if it's a new surface or a new product. You'd think this would be obvious, right? But when you're in the middle of cleaning, especially if you're in a rush, it's so easy to skip that step. You look at a stain, grab a cleaner, and just go for it. That's exactly what I did once, on a beautiful fabric couch. It wasn't even mine. I was helping a friend clean before a dinner party. There was a small spot on the armrest. I figured no big deal. I grabbed a spray that worked fine on my dining chairs at home, sprayed it on, wiped it, and walked away feeling accomplished. But when we came back 30 minutes later, the fabric had changed color. It had this uneven, almost bleached out look. We tried everything to blend it back: water, gentle soap, even steam. Nothing worked. I ruined it just because I didn't test first. And the worst part, if I just dabbed a little in an invisible corner under the cushion, we would have known right away. Since then, I don't skip this step. It takes less than a minute, but it can save you from making a much bigger mess than the one you were trying to clean in the first place. Now, whenever I'm dealing with upholstery, rugs, or carpets, wood furniture, anything with a special finish or texture, I always test first. I'll flip over a cushion or check the back corner of a cabinet. Just a tiny bit of product on a cloth, wait a few minutes, and see how it reacts. This rule also applies when you're trying a new product, even on surfaces you clean all the time, because every cleaner is a little different. Some are more acidic, some have stronger solvents. Something that's totally fine on your kitchen counter might damage a natural wood table. Even something labeled multi-surface doesn't mean no risk. And let's be honest, surfaces are expensive. Replacing something because of one wrong spray, not worth it. So next time you're tempted to just spray and scrub, pause, test first. It's such a small step, but it gives you peace of mind. You know exactly what's going to happen before you commit. And if you're someone who likes trying new products or DIY cleaning solutions, this rule becomes even more important. Clean smart, not just fast. That little test spot can save you from a big regret. Rule number 7 might sound too simple to matter, but it honestly changed how effective my cleaning felt. Use clean tools, always. I used to think, well, I'm using the mop to clean the floor, so it's getting clean while I use it. Same with sponges, same with microfiber cloths. If it looked okay and wasn't falling apart, I'd keep using it. But here's the thing. Dirty tools don't clean, they just spread mess around. I started to notice this when I'd mop the floor and it didn't smell fresh afterward. Or when I'd wipe down the counter and still see a weird film left behind. Then I looked closer at the mop head and realized it was basically holding onto days' worth of grime. Same with the cloth I was using on the bathroom sink. It had been through the kitchen, the windowsills, the table. No wonder things never looked or felt fully clean. So now I've made it a habit. I start each cleaning session with fresh cloths and a clean mop head. I wash my tools regularly, not just when they smell. And I separate cloths by area, one color for the bathroom, one for the kitchen, another for dusting. It might sound a bit extra, but honestly, it makes the work faster, easier, and more satisfying. Because when your tools are clean, you can trust that every swipe is actually making a difference, not adding more dirt back in. Even with vacuums, I empty the canister more often now and clean the filter regularly. Because if your tools are full, they're not doing their job. And worse, they're blowing dust back into the air instead of removing it. One small thing I do that's helped a lot. At the end of a cleaning session, I toss all used cloths straight into the laundry, not into the maybe I'll use it again pile. That way, next time I clean, I'm starting fresh without second guessing. It's like cooking with clean knives and cutting boards, it just makes sense. Clean tools equals cleaner results. Less scrubbing, less frustration, less wondering why your house still doesn't feel clean even after an hour of effort. So if your cleaning routine feels like more work than it should, don't just look at your products, look at your tools. They might be what's holding you back. So those were the 7 cleaning rules that have honestly made home care feel way less exhausting for me. Not perfect, not Instagram worthy, just lighter, more doable, and less frustrating. And the best part, when you stop cleaning the same spots over and over, you start to feel like you actually own your time and space again. If any of these habits sound like something that could work in your home, try one this week, just one. You don't have to overhaul your whole routine. Even a small shift can help your space stay cleaner longer and give you one less thing to stress about. In tomorrow's video, we're shifting gears a little. I'll be sharing simple ways to remove that constant visual noise, the kind of clutter that makes your home feel busy, even when it's technically clean. It's one of my favorite topics, and I think you'll love it. Until then, if this video helped you hit that like button, share it with a friend who's always tired of tidying. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.